What's up, familia? Welcome inside the Big Rig. Hope you guys are doing good. Keep your in between the lines. Got your load secure. All right, let's get into a scary trucker story.
It was just after 5 in the morning. I just got in my rig and hit the road for the day. I love to start my shifts because the sun usually wasn't up yet, so the roads were usually clear. However, that day was a little different.
Hold on. I always say that, man. Trucking it at this time is the best, but it can be the worst. It's the best because the roads are like this, just the way you see it. But it's the worst because if something goes down, damn.
As I drove down the side road leading away from the company that I worked for, I noticed that there was another rig on the side of the road. I didn't recognize the truck or the person standing outside of it, but I decided to pull over in front of him and see if he needed help. The man was standing near the back of his trailer, looking at the ground as if something had fallen out of it. I called out to see if he needed any help, and he explained that he was driving down the road and noticed that his trailer had popped itself open, and asked if I had seen anything in the middle of the road that might have been his car. I told him that I hadn't, but I had no problem pulling out a flashlight and looking around. I pulled my light out of my pocket and started shining it around the sides of the road. But as soon as my back was to the man, I regretted it. I felt something small and pointy stick into the back of my neck before electricity started coursing through my body. I'd been tased, and my body had basically collapsed onto the floor. I wasn't unconscious, so I could feel the man flip me over and drag me toward the back of his truck. Once we were there, he hoisted me up and forced me into the trailer. By the time I was forced inside, I was regaining some of my strength. I swung my arm toward the man with my fist, ready for impact. The man ducked the punch and then jabbed the taser into the side of my ribcage. My body seized up and I collapsed onto the floor of the trailer. Darkness started to pool around me as the trailer door slammed shut, and I cried out for help as I heard the man locking them from the outside.
Damn. Okay, look, I've never been tased, Holmes. If you guys been tased, let me know. But I've never been tased. But yeah, apparently, like, your body just goes into shock and you can't really do anything. Hey, I'll tell you guys this. When you're inside a trailer and the doors outside are closed, that is it, dog. There is no way to open them. So there's no inside latch or anything like that. Once they're closed, they are closed. Damn. So I always say, homie, you know, you're taking a big risk when you stop to get off to help. You're just taking a big risk, man.
The truck started up, and I could feel the road under the wheels as I tried to lean myself up against the walls of the truck. It took me a minute to shake off the daze from the taser, but once I did, I quickly remembered that I had my cell phone. I pulled it out and called 911 to explain what was going on. It was hard for the dispatcher to hear me with all the noise from the truck, but I explained to him where I was assaulted and taken from, and he assured me that help was on the way. I stayed on the phone with the dispatcher for the next 10 minutes or so, pleading for him to help. There was still no sign of any cops around. That was when I could feel the truck starting to slow down. We turned onto a much bumpier road that was forcing the driver to go much slower. I explained this to the dispatcher, and as I felt the truck come to a stop, I asked him for help one last time, and he hung up the phone. I didn't want my assailant to see my cell phone and take it from me. I could hear the man dragging his feet as he slowly walked toward the back of the truck to unlock it. As he unlocked the door, I reminded myself that he had a taser, and if I wanted to get away, I had to watch out for him.
Okay. Is that all he had? Was a taser? I mean, if he's got a strap on me, then that's one thing. But if all he has is a taser and, you know, your focus is back, you recovered from getting tased, I mean, hey, homie, then, you know, it's on and popping, dog. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get it. He's got a taser, but, I mean, it's not a strap, dog. It's time to throw it down, dog. Time to handle. The
door swung open and it was like a flashbang of light. I couldn't let it disturb me too much, though, because I knew I only had a few seconds. Otherwise, I would be tased and helpless again. I waited until the man was leaning into the trailer to step inside, and when he did, I took my chance. I kicked my right leg toward his head, which made him fall back a bit, and I took the opportunity to run and jump out of the trailer. I managed to jump clear over the man, who was still recovering from the kick that he had ordered, and as soon as my feet touched the ground, I took off. I ran as fast as I could in the direction that we came from, and at the same time I fumbled for my phone and called 911 back. I described my surroundings to the dispatcher, who told me that the police were about 2 minutes away from me and to just remain calm. I stashed myself behind a tree and kept an eye on the road as I hoped my assailant didn't find me.
I stashed
The 2
myself.
minutes took forever to pass, but eventually I was relieved to see the flashing red and blue lights coming up the road. The officers found the truck that I had been forced into abandoned where I escaped from it, and the driver was nowhere to be found. Officers searched the area for hours but couldn't find him. That was hands down the scariest experience of my life, and every time I'm out on the road, I wonder if I'm going to see that man again.
Wow. Okay, few things here. So, first of all, it was the dude with the taser. It was his truck, so how can they not find him unless he robbed that truck, unless he jacked that truck or something like that. So, because he tased him and threw him into his own truck. So, yeah, they'd be able to track the guy down, like I said, unless it wasn't actually his truck. But another thing is, too, though, if you kicked homeboy and he was on the ground, and when you jumped off the trailer, if he was still on the ground recovering, like you said he was, why do you take off running? Charles, dog. It's time to stomp that fool out. You know what I mean? Yes, call law enforcement that they'll be coming, but no, dog, because you don't know, you could get lost. The hoodas may not find you because you're leaving, you're getting away from the truck. You could run into another problem, wildlife, whatever it may be. Again, if you just had like a split second and the dude was strapped, then I get it, take off running, right? But if you kicked him and he hit the floor and he was on the ground, and you get, your feet touch the ground and he's still on the ground recovering, oh dog, it's time to put in some work, Holmes. Shoot, take the taser from him, but it's time to stomp a dude out, Holmes, and take the taser from him and tase his ass, and wait there for law enforcement to show up. But yeah, look, either way, I'm glad it turned out all right. That's what I always say, man. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's truly, truly hard to stop and get off to help someone. You're taking a risk. But anyway, there you guys go, familia. As always, live your life like you're on the road. Be aware of your surroundings and always keep a safe distance. Blood makes you related, but loyalty makes family. Until next time, this is the Troll Trucker. Over and out.